Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keith Parsons, and I'll be your presenter today. And thank you for attending our LiveAction 4.0 update. A little bit about myself before we begin is I've been an engineering and delivery manager for LiveAction for about 5 years now, with over 35 years experience in troubleshooting and analysis. I actually work to help bring the original sniffer network analyzer to market, and also I'm a technical instructor, also delivering the QoS flow and visualization training classes for LiveAction, and I'm an engineer for the southeast half of the United States. Our agenda topics today will be an introduction, then LiveAction 4.0 to talk about our large-scale enterprise with single pane of glass, and the demo itself of the product. And then also I'm going to show you a preview of 4.1, which will be released very shortly now that we've got 4.0 out the door. So what is LiveAction? LiveAction really today is about see, point, click, and fix. The ability of being able to visualize the network from a holistic view through a graphical GUI, and being able to point and pinpoint and troubleshoot and make decisions based off the actual map itself. So we color code and indicate and allow you to follow conversations through the network, and then be able to pinpoint where bottlenecks may occur due to problems in the network, from queue drops to class drops to congestion, to be able to look at it from a flow, QoS, routing, LAN, and WAN perspective to help you make the right decisions. And then also we can control and deploy the technologies, which is very unique in tools today. So I can actually modify a QoS policies, create them, as well as deploy new technologies such as NBAR2, MediaNet, AVC, and other technologies from Cisco can be easily deployed using our tool to allow you to fix and improve and resolve the problems much quicker than you have in the past. So LiveAction software is an application-aware network performance management and QoS tool. It is fast, simple, cost-effective way to monitor and control application performance leveraging Cisco capabilities. So it really consists of 6 modules within LiveAction. The first module is flow, so we actually use NetFlow as well as SFlow, JFlow, and other flow technologies to be able to draw a picture dynamically of the traffic going through your network. So it's very patent pending, and we're actually very excited about how we're the first in the industry to be able to show flows from an end-to-end perspective of traffic going through your network. The QoS monitor capabilities of the tool are very outstanding as well, since QoS is kind of our bread and butter of being able to monitor the QoS policies, the classes themselves, as well as any drops or errors that occur, and as well as QoS configuration. So we're very unique in the industry of being the only tool that's really out there today that can configure quality of service on scale and be able to instantly be able to deploy policies and to be able to modify policies over multiple devices as well. LAN technology we have in the tool, so we're able to monitor things such as spanning tree, VLAN, interface performance, as well as other issues that may occur, such as inbound, outbound errors, are easily done through the WAN functionality of the tool. And we have routing functionality there to be able to monitor the routes in the network. We analyze the routing tables. We show the routing adjacencies, so we know about uptime and downtime very easily. And we can actually do show route path through the network to be able to show a path between 2 devices. And IP SLA, service level agreement testing. We're excellent in that arena to be able to define the test through our graphical GUI, and then be able to deploy the test and monitor and give you the results through an extensive reporting that is included in LiveAction. So who uses LiveAction today? We really work across all verticals. Anyone that has a network today, and especially complex networks with quality of service being deployed, actually take advantage of the tool. So we're used in all the realms of the verticals that you see today, from education to financial services to healthcare to the public sector, and energy and utilities also use the product as well. So we work in all forms of verticals today. And our strong partnership with Cisco we're very proud of. So once again, we team with Cisco to provide breakthrough networking solutions. We are part of the Solution Partner Program, the Solution Incentive Program, and we're IDP compatible. We're on the Solution Plus Program, as we mentioned before, and I'm also on the GPL, the Cisco Global Price List, so we're very pleased with that as well. And we deploy technologies that Cisco has put into the iOS today to make it more efficient and easier to use these technologies, such as MediaNet, performance routing, N-bar2, flexible NetFlow, AVC, advanced quality of service, IWAN, as well as we're also MSI capable, media services interface. We support high-speed logging off the ASAs as an example, and more. So the hardware we support is the whole breadth of Cisco technology, so supported in the device today. So what is new for 4.0 that we've actually released in our latest version that's available today? First of all, scalable architecture for tens of thousands of devices across distributed deployment. Where we were once limited to a number of devices, 500 devices per collector now, and now we have a scalable architecture that allows us to monitor tens of thousands of devices now. A single pane of glass visibility for management of all these devices across multiple collectors or nodes in the network, and intelligent end-to-end visualization optimized for large-scale networks. So now I can still be able to show you an end-to-end view, even though it may cross 500 hops in your network. I can actually provide that view end-to-end and identify any problems along the path. We've improved the ability of being able to get the tool configured and get to own your network quicker with bulk discovery. So it enables faster and more automatic detection of the devices, and we've been able to add bulk devices now by the hundreds very quickly into LiveAction. And device grouping and bulk configuration with ease allows us to be able to draw the topology map to make sense of the initial deployment of the devices within LiveAction. And last is a simple migration to 4.0 from our prior releases. So our customers that are running 3.x today can upgrade to 4.0 and have the scalability functionality today. So 4.0 benefits would increase the complexity and the size of LiveAction managed network by maintaining consistent performance. Centralized management via a single pane of glass visibility across large enterprise networks, saving time and money and mean time to repair. So the same intuitive user interface is there, but it's now scaled for larger and more complex environments, and the ease of operation of bulk configuration and grouping of devices make it easy to get LiveAction up and running into your network, and also a single-use license now, one license for the entire network instead of the past of using multiple licenses. So it is a distributed architecture that we're showing today that can scale up to 40,000 devices in a distributed employment. So it is a three-layer architecture of an application that actually runs and connects to the server, and the server handles the dashboard, the reporting, the words, the topology, and drawing the map, and then underneath that is the nodes themselves or collectors that do the flow, SMP, collection, and storing of all the information coming from the Cisco devices or other devices. So it has now become a distributed architecture that we have. Rather than being a single server, I can now have multiple nodes or collectors distributed throughout the network, reporting up to, once again, a central server. It is the ACA framework based, so it's scalable, fault management, and message based, and this is the standard in the industry used by many software manufacturers today. So we're just following what the leaders are doing and allowing us to be state-of-the-art with the design that we have for the server, the node, and the application itself. In the old view of LiveAction, if we had a 2,000 device network on the left, you would see I would have to have 4 instances of LiveAction running, and the consoles were not integrated, so we could not see across the network completely or have a single pane of glass. We had to have 4 device keys, 4 license keys, 4 servers now to be able to have this view, so it wasn't uniform. Now with 4.0, as you can see, we have our nodes deployed into the network that we convert very easily, and now all report back to a LiveAction server node for a single pane of glass with, once again, uniformity. So one LiveAction server managing 2,000 devices with a single pane of glass, and each LiveAction node can handle 500 to 1,000 devices, and a device is a switch or a router, by the way, that provides horizontal scaling and under one license key. Now, if you're having any questions about things that I've shown you so far, there's a Q&A panel within WebEx that you can go to and type in any questions and get the answers from our expert team. So just go to the Q&A panel and ask any questions, and you should receive an answer as well. So it is innovation that we do with situational awareness of being able to detect and problems in the network that other tools just don't analyze and see today. We use our visual path analysis of being able to draw the path through the network and then pinpointing where the problem is. We take advantage of being a network DVR, so every single conversation and every flow is stored where we can replay it over and over if necessary to be able to go back and analyze problems in the past. So the ability of being able to replay the data that can be stored for days or weeks or even months is possible from within the tool now to be able to replay that data when needed. And a network search feature, very much like Google, within the tool now I can go in and say, show me traffic from San Jose to Boston, and instantly see that flow within the map view without having to set complex and detailed filters using the network search function. The WAN solution that we were just speaking of is this example, and I'm going in and being able to specify a source and a destination and instantly seeing the flow of that traffic being drawn dynamically in LiveAction. And then, of course, we can drill down on the traffic and analyze it for problems by looking for an amber interface or congestion or other problems that might be occurring. So it's easy for us now today to be able to get a view of the traffic that's going between the sites and then have the drill down that we need to be able to monitor from anyway from CPU to memory to QoS to application, video performance, etc. So with LiveAction 4.0 performance, it is once again performance optimization to the time series database. Memory use has been reduced for a smaller footprint and aggregated data for week, month, and even quarterly reports. Initial release performance for 4.0 is 40,000 devices, and in our future releases by the end of the year, we'll be able to scale to monitor 100 switches or 100,000 switches or routers in your network. Our flow rates are outstanding because of our proprietary encrypted database that we've developed. So it's 1 million flows per system collection, and we'll be looking at scaling that to 10 million flows in the near future. But once again, we're an industry leader right now where other flow collectors have a hard time running over 250,000 flows. We easily can run 1 million flows today. So it is a distributed architecture capable of scaling to 40,000 device networks now with a single pane of glass view through a graphical interface. Small network customers really don't need 4.0. They can stay on our 3.x release because it's not necessary for smaller networks. The 4.0 can be installed if our customers want to upgrade. And once again, for our large customers, they are moving to 4.0. And we'll see 4.1 coming shortly that offers even more feature enhancements as far as PFR, scalability, and a few other nice tricks such as NCCM. So let's take a demonstration and take a look at LiveAction 4.0 and some of the features we have in the tool today. This is a view of LiveAction right now, and if you can see, I've got the devices in the groups. So I have groups are actually indicated inside the map today, and I can see once again the different areas of my network broken down very easily. If I double click on a network, then you see I can scale in to see hundreds of devices and see their condition and see how they're performing very, very easily. So this is one of our newer features, is our ability to be able to scale in and out very easily to handle, once again, large volumes of devices. If I look at the enterprise group and we scale in to look at it, as you can see if in my previous LiveAction users are joining us today, they can see that the scalability has increased and the view has changed somewhat to how we show the grouping has now been improved as well. One of the things I mentioned earlier is the ability of adding or removing devices. So the circles you see right now are the actual switches and routers in the network right now. So the ability of being able to monitor these devices very easily in the network is being done through LiveAction. So we can actually see these actual flows very, very easily being drawn through the network from one end to the other. So the LiveAction tool does a very dynamic view of being able to show the traffic and the flows through the network. One of the things that we've increased now is the ability and ease of being able to add devices. See, I have a device that's added right now. Here's the 3560. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to remove that device from LiveAction and show the new method that we've got today to be able to add that device in. So we can go to Discover Devices, and I actually can put in that address of that device, 10.0.50.10, so I can actually list hundreds of devices here from the table if I need to, and then I can actually add that device back into a quick discovery method. So we'll discover the device, and notice I have an advanced add feature now. So for my existing LiveAction customers, now the ability of being able to go in and select which interfaces I want to look at and be able to monitor can now be instantly selected rather than having to go back into the tool and set these parameters can now be done very easily from within LiveAction. So as an example, I'll have all my interfaces true. I've got VLAN 1 turned off. I've got Fast Ethernet 0 turned off. I'll turn him to true as an example. And now I'm actually setting which interfaces will be displayed within LiveAction during the configuration. I want to add it to the enterprise group. So I can actually select it, and then I can actually add and update the device, and now it walks me through automatically, and now it's easy to get a device added from within LiveAction. So we just go ahead and click Next, and once again I enter my CLI credentials, and then we begin our add process. We monitor the device automatically, and we're communicating with it via CLI to learn the capabilities of the device and see what functionality is available. So I actually show you that during the validation standpoint of what the device can support. Then the interfaces have already been pre-selected due to my Excel spreadsheet. And then once again, I can select if I want flow enabled, and then I can actually add that device very easily. And now that device has been added into LiveAction again, and you see here is that device right now. And there he is added back into the network. So it's easy to add the devices in and out of LiveAction to be able to see them now and be able to display the information more uniform. For adding the devices into the network, we've made it very, very easy now through the Excel spreadsheet to get devices added. So as we look at LiveAction right now, what we're looking at is the actual flows going through the network of the actual users themselves. The colors indicate the type of traffic or can indicate class markings. So we're looking at 5 devices. See, I can actually look at the flows going through the network end to end. So as in this example, we'll scroll in and look at the blue arrow, which indicates web traffic to the to the lower left chart, and I can see there's 70 web flows or 70 web conversations, the rate, the bytes, and the packets. I can come over here and see the actual voice traffic as well. I could highlight that voice traffic, create a filter to show only these flows, and look. Let's look at just the voice traffic going through the network. So we'll draw those flows for us. And there's the actual voice traffic going through the network. Let's look at it by class markings, and we can actually do that as well. And notice red means EF according to the chart in the lower left-hand corner. And look, these 3 calls are running in the right class of service, red, EF. But look over here, I'm running in the wrong class of service, AF41, and SIP traffic's running in best effort. So I can see instantly that I've got a problem with this one phone and how it's configured, as well as SIP traffic in my network. And that's what we do so well at LiveAction, is being able to visually show you problems that occur on the network. So let's say we want to troubleshoot a voice over IP problem in a part of the network. So here are the actual flows that are going through the network from an end-to-end perspective, and I can actually highlight one of those voice flows and look, green, green, so it looks good, out across the MPLS cloud into an interface that's amber, which means bad, off to the actual source. So in the path of this voice over IP call, we see an interface that's amber, so let's double-click on that interface and take a look, and up. Look at the bottom of the screen. I've got class drop selected, and voice over IP is amber, and that's our way of actually showing that drops are occurring right now. See, so we see about 800K of drops that are occurring. Now notice I also have the application view. So I can actually see a breakdown of the applications going through the interface using NBAR. The black dotted line is the SNMP rather, and so we can see our SNMP statistics that you would normally see in SolarWinds or WhatsUp Go. And at the bottom of the screen, once again, is a breakdown of the actual classes and the policy itself. So we can see in this voice over IP problem that voice over IP is amber, dropping traffic. Look what I can do that's so unique. I can actually adjust the policy without going command line. So this tool was designed for the Department of Defense for military use originally, so it had to be simplistic for the network combat operator to be able to adjust quality of service on the fly. So we can see that we were dropping at about 800K in voice, and I can see now that voice is set to 8K. At the bottom of the screen, 85% of the bandwidth is still available, so let's go up here and change 8K to 1024, and now I can see I've got 18% of the bandwidth still available, so I'm not oversubscribing. I'll preview the CLI to see the changes I make, save it to the device, and look at this. Without ever going command line, I'm modifying QoS now that easily on this actual device. So we won't save the configuration for now. But in the next polling cycle, we should see voice over IP return to its normal state. Now, I do want to show you that at any point in time, you can run reports, and we'll have these reports available for you. So if it's NBAR post-policy comparison reports, if you want to look at errors reports as well. So we go back in time to be able to look at memory usage, interface drops, class drops, as well as policy comparison, NBAR comparison, so I can do application comparison over days, weeks, or months. So, and the granularity is always there, able to drill down and be able to isolate problems and be able to do that back in time is supplied in the tool from the QoS view. So we can see that voice over IP now is no longer amber. So let's go back to our flow view and let's take a look again. Let's highlight our arrow and look, green, green. green, green, green. So all the way through, there's no interface drops, no class drops, no queue drops, and no congestion occurring in the path very easily now. So I can see that my voice over IP traffic is all going through interfaces that are green. So I want you to notice something, everyone. The arrows indicate the traffic. So you see, look, if I highlight these arrows, look, there are all the conversations, see? The different applications that I'm monitoring and capturing right now. And all the arrows are colored blue. And blue, according to the chart in the lower left corner, means best effort. So we should be seeing colors here, indicating red for EF traffic, for voice, etc. So I really don't have a policy marking traffic at all on the network. So watch this. Let's go over to the interface closest to the source, this guy right here that I'm moving around, and we're going to apply a policy on that device. So let's go to QoS and go to that interface, and look, I can create a policy from templates. So that's right. Built into LiveAction today is the ability for me to push out quality of service policies from pre-built templates that are Cisco approved. So these all come from Cisco Best Practices documents, and here are those templates that are available right now. You went to Cisco Live this year, it's about the 12-class MediaNet template, or the 12-class RFC 4594 template, or here's an 11-class model with in-bar matching, matching and marking, matching, marking, and queuing. Maybe I'm just trying to get control of voice on the network. So here's my voice template. So as you can see, we have all the templates, including WAN templates, can be used. They can be modified. You can create a new policy. You can use your existing policies on the network. So as an example, let's go to this interface that I'm looking at right now, and I'm going to right mouse click, and I'm going to go apply a policy to the interface. We need to put quality of service in place on the network. So without going command line, notice I can select the policy off the device that I'd like to use, select the interface and say OK, and I'm now applying a policy to that interface without ever going command line. The nice thing is that now I can take this policy and I can deploy it over multiple devices and multiple interfaces. So see, I have multiple interfaces running the same policy now. I can turn around and update this policy and instantly push it out to all the devices and update this policy on a global scale very easily now from the QoS perspective. Just to show you what we were doing, when we applied that policy. See here from command line, see, here is that actual policy I just rolled out without ever going command line. So we make it very easy to be able to deploy quality of service in the network. In addition, I actually can manage quality of service as well. So let's take a look at the policies that are actually on this device, and here they are. So you see, here's that set DSCP policy I just applied. Here's where we classify, mark, queue, police, and shape. It's all done through the graphical GUI now. So if I wanted to modify this one class, see, I can edit, and then I can select the match type, ACL, name, number, protocol. Hey, for those of you on the phone from Cisco, I support protocol using in-bar groups. So in-bar 2, we see I can actually add different categories or different groups very easily. And see, there's the browsing group, and instead of adding each one of these statements individually, I can now click one time, and as you can see, add that entire group. So we actually support in-bar 2 from within the tool. So see, it's very easily to modify a policy from within LiveAction, and then be able to do what after that point in time? Then I can turn around and take it and update all the devices in the network with that policy, and then once again remain consistent with quality of service throughout the network. What if I want to create a new policy? Look, I'll just go out and give the policy a name, and I'll call them test, and see now I've got a new policy named test right here with a default class. Look, I can add a class to the policy, and I'll pick up all your existing classes. So you don't have to recreate the wheel. So I'll use your video class and add it, and see how it adds the match statement automatically when I add a new class to it. So we'll create a class and call it data 1 as an example. And now, see, there's no match statement, so I can edit, I could go up and use an ACL, add the ACL, and look what I'm doing in the background. See, without ever going command line, I'm building a complex QoS policy very easily now. So that's all possible from within the tool, being able to help you once again put quality of service in your network and be consistent as well. I even can do multi-hierarchical policies as well. So I could put in a shaper, and then I could drop this policy as a set DSCP. I could click that policy and drop it on top of my shaper. And look, I've just created a nested hierarchical policy with the shaper that easily. So once again, the ability of controlling quality service is very strong from within the tool. Now, we applied a policy, if you remember earlier, to this interface, and I want to click refresh just to show you. Look what happened. Instead of just blue, we now see red and blue going through the network. And red indicates EF traffic, and blue is best effort. So see, my phone call now is running in the EF class of service, and I can drill down to just that one call and take a look as an example, and there it is all the way through the network. Now, this is the question that I've got for everybody on the call, and it's the most common problem that I see is, how do you know an application or a voice call or a conversation or any flow that begins on one side of the network in a class of service, such as this is beginning in EF, goes all the way through the network as EF to the other end? The most common problem I see today is losing class markings in the network. So as we can see in this example, it's red all the way through, so it's staying in the EF class of service. But as an example, I would like to show you. Let me troubleshoot this together. So you see, here we are now. Here comes the voice call. It's red EF. It's red in the router. It's red to the router. It's red going into the MPLS cloud. And up coming out of the cloud, it changed the best effort. I have lost my class markings with my MPLS provider, and I now know instantly my problem with this voice over IP issue that I have in the network. Being able to follow class markings end to end is one of the most important things this tool does. And every single demo I do on a customer's network for the last 5 years, I find class markings not correct on every single one of them. So this is, once again, an excellent example of being able to troubleshoot that exact problem, and then we can take corrective action as well. And in addition, we can troubleshoot down to any level. What if Bob called and complained about a problem? I'm sure everybody's got Bob in their network as well. I can go put in an ad hoc filter and put in Bob's IP address as an example, see? And then I'll click OK. And now let's refresh and take a look at just the traffic from Bob. Now he's complaining about a video problem that he's got going on in the network right now. So video's red EF, so we'll highlight that red flow, create a filter to show that flow all the way through. And what we'll see is up there is the video flow. So first thing is it red all the way through to be in the EF class of service. It sure looks good, but look, here on the 2921, here's an actual interface. It's amber. So let's find out about this video issue. Let's drill down, go to quality of service, and go over and take a look at the policy. And there it is. Interactive video is dropping traffic. So we were able to chase down a problem once again. Notice the actual breakdown by application as well. So see, I can jump into an application view and jump from QoS to a flow view very easily now and see the applications that are going through the network. I can see a breakdown of the applications using NBAR 2. So there's my Office 365, my Citrix traffic. So Office 365 traffic, I could drill down on and see who's doing that traffic as an example. And then I can drill down and see the user. Is this traffic actually running in a protected class of service? So I could run my DSCP. And it is right now in a protected class, see? So the drill down is fantastic in the tool of being able to analyze. So here we're back to all the applications again. Look, what if I wanted to do flow.dscp equal EF? I want to know about all the EF traffic going through the network by application and drill down. And see, there it is. So this is what's great about the tool, is the drill down. As you can see on the left-hand side, the breadth of reports is once again very strong in the tool. And we even have the ability of creating customized reports based off any of the elements in the flow. So you can create your own custom reports very, very easily from LiveAction. Now, in addition of what we've been showing you so far, I'd like to show you some newer things that we support from within the tool. This is basic flow, but we're doing flexible NetFlow on this 2921. So that means that the application field is being classified by nvar2. So we actually see the flows in real time. You see, and I can tell you the busiest conversation going through the network, and look at the drill down. I can drill down by source address. I can drill down by source port. I can drill down by destination address. I think you see the point. I can drill down infinity almost on any report in any field to give you the information that you need. So this is basic flow that we're generating reports and monitoring and doing the flow dynamics that I've been showing you so far. But on this IFRG2, I'd like to also show you I'm supporting multiple flow types. So I am supporting MediaNet flow types, and MediaNet looks at RTP streams in the network. So coming from this router are multiple flow templates, and now I'm actually looking at the MediaNet flow template, and it looks at RTP traffic. So now I can scroll over for the first time, and I can see jitter measurements and packet loss event counts now are all being shown. Anything highlighted in red is an alert and alarm that I'm generating. So here we are analyzing voice and video traffic in real time using nothing more but my Cisco switch or router today. So this has been fantastic that I've got this ability of being able to look and monitor voice and video performance. I can go out, of course, and run a report and run a flow, and then I could run MediaNet and do a jitter and loss and instantly know what actual conversations are in trouble very, very easily. In addition, I have top analysis. Remember, we're a DVR, so I can go back and show you every conversation of voice and how it performed in the network over the last 15 minutes, or how about 3 weeks ago, Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I need to go back and look at a problem, and here we are, every single call. So once again, we can always go back in time. Never do you say you don't know. You do know. You know about every single conversation going up and down, every single interface of your network right now, using, once again, the technology that Cisco has provided for us. As we look at the flows again going through the network as an example, I can go back up and highlight on a particular flow. So I'll go up and do my flow that I was looking at earlier. So let's pick my flow out again. And here's my flow, as you can see, going through the network. And I'm monitoring with MediaNet, and so the actual ability of being able to see that flow all the way through now is very paramount with the tool. So that's one of the strengths of the tool, is being able to look at that traffic and being able to look at those flows and then being able to show a flow path analysis. So I'm actually parsing the MediaNet flows from multiple devices now to follow this voice or video stream through the network. And as you can see, I instantly see the flow path analysis now, and look at that. I can see I've got a policy that's out of shape. I see loss event percentages and loss event counts now are actually shown in red in the path. So this is our unique technology of us being able to parse the flows and be able to bring in more than just standard MediaNet. I'm showing CPU usage, the policy, and how it's performing. So this is very unique of being able to follow a flow through the network and then see where the problems are occurring on a hop-by-hop basis. But we once again do that from within LiveAction very, very easily. And this is all being supported with MediaNet that's available from Cisco today in the routers and switches. But I also got another flow template to show you today, ABC, and watch the flows change again. And now we're looking at application and visibility and control. So now with ABC, look, AD is access delay, ND is network delay, CND is client, SND is server. So that's right, I'm doing a layer 7 deep packet inspection now and able to show response time metrics, retransmissions, responses, late responses. So now what we've been plugging in protocol analyzers for and probes to be able to analyze, look at me bringing it back from this actual router or an ASR as an example, and once again it's all being tabulated into reports. So I can run a top application report as an example for the last 15 minutes, and here's response time values for all my applications. Let's take Citrix and view down over time as an example, and there once again, let's look at it over an hour. And see in the graph, client delay is amber and server delay is blue. And look at me measuring delay of Citrix now using nothing more than what Cisco has placed in the iOS now. This is visibility. This is what my customers are doing today to be able to have visibility into application performance, being able to troubleshoot problems on multiple levels, from quality of service down to application issues, to flow issues, to be able to look at voice problems, and in addition of being able to analyze things such as IWAN and TFR. So as an example, for those of you who are thinking about doing IWAN, this is a device I've got over on the left-hand side. This is a 2921. And notice I've set a filter to look at just the video and voice traffic, and it's going the northbound route through the network over to my 2921 that's over here on the right-hand side. So we can see the flow of traffic. We can see it going over to the right-hand side. And if those of you who are familiar with IWAN, once again, we're using two paths. One's provided by AT&T, and the other path is provided by Verizon as an example. So what I'm going to do is to show you how PFR can react in real time to problems that it detects on the network. So on this one segment over here on the right that I'm circling, I'm going to inject some errors on this actual link, and we're going to watch PFR perform a reroute automatically. So let's start the actual test. And so now we can induce some jitter. And so now let's go look at PFR flows. And here we are from the master controller. We can look at the flows, and we're looking now for a status change that we will key an alert and alarm and notify you instantly about a problem with performance routing or IWAN. Well, there it is right there. See unreachable criteria, see the red alert. So we're already noticing a problem change has occurred, and we have picked it up from within the PFR flows itself. Now, this is translating over to an alert and an alarm within LiveAction. And so what I have the capability of being able to do is, since I see this alert that's occurring right now, I can actually go to the alert log and actually take a look at this alert in detail. So let's go to the alert log. We'll scroll down. There it is, PFR out of policy then occurred in the details. And if I wanted to look at, say, all the PFR conditions that have occurred, I could actually go out and just set a filter for the alerts and say, show me all the alerts. Then from there, of course, I can run a report, and now I've got the details of time of when it occurred, the reason, the criteria, the addresses that are affected is all now being logged within LiveAction for PFR. So we do see this event that has occurred from within the network. So now that we have seen the actual flow that detected the problem, let's go back and look and see how the traffic was going the northbound route before. I'm going to refresh and look. See, the traffic now is starting to go through the southbound route and is being rerouted. So LiveAction automatically detects this reroute of the traffic, and we show it dynamically so you can see, and I'll refresh again, and we'll see that the transition is complete, that the flows now are actually going through the southbound route. So this is an example of PFR monitoring using LiveAction as well. So it is about the future of monitoring using multiple flow templates as well. PFR, wireless flows for 3850, AVC, MediaNet basic flow to be able to troubleshoot and analyze problems in the network today. Now, in closing, we're also a routing tool. So one of the things that I do that's so unique is that I can actually put in a source and destination, and I can actually map that route through the network. So see in the diagram, the blue arrow showing the route that's being taken, and then I can actually show the return route. See? And look, it's taking a different route. So how am I being able to pull this off is that I actually have the routing tables of every single device in the network. And I can support multiple VRFs as well. So once again, giving you visibility of the routing tables, and then the path in the network is very easily shown. So I can go to a protocol, and I can actually go to routing, and I can look at all the routes, and the route tables can be shown in the tool very easily, can be done, being displayed. And if I wanted to show things such as adjacencies, I can do that as well. You see, here's the route being displayed now, and look, I've never seen a tool do this. It shows the adjacencies. So nobody knows about a link or an interface going down before I do, because I'm monitoring the adjacencies in real time, and even have the adjacency table. And here it is being monitored right now. So knowing about downtime is once again very paramount, and we do an excellent job of that by monitoring several different methods that other vendors simply don't. Now, from IP SLA, for those of you who use IP service level agreement testing, we're a great IP SLA tool. See, the actual lines are indicating the test as well. So here's the jitter test that's running across the network. And all of this rolls up into a dashboard. So very quickly, just to show you, I have a single pane of glass of everything that's happening from a system view to be able to look at usage, bandwidth, drops, and see the busiest links, to a QoS view to be able to see drops by bit rate, class drops, output, input, bandwidth and measurements, and applications and the bandwidth they're using. And then from the flow view, here are the top devices by flow, by country that are being shown very easily, and IP SLA. So you see, I can actually highlight and see which tests are in trouble. I can look at that jitter test and drill down and instantly have a jitter report. The latency, jitter, and loss and MOS score all being measured right now. So taking advantage of what Cisco is providing again gives me the ability of being able to run these sophisticated tests on the network very, very easily, as you can see. So this jitter test is failing right now. These are passing. Look, I can click on this 1811, and what I do that's so nice is I can build a jitter test very easily. I'm going to use this interface over here on the right that I'm highlighting, the destination address. Where do I want to run this jitter test to? I simply take my mouse and click on any interface, and look, it puts in the address automatically. So I'll select the interface, select Save to Device, and I'm now configuring IP SLA on both devices in the transponder without ever going command line. So as you can see, it's about controlling ACL, about controlling IP SLA, controlling quality of service in the tool. So once again, we do more than just be a simple monitoring tool that we actually control, and that's the big difference between us and other tools that are out there as well. Also, I support traffic generation. So you're saying what? So yes, in the actual 3560s and 3750 Catalyst switches, the X models, they actually support a test called IP SLA VO, or Video Operation Test. So I actually can go out and simulate video traffic through the network, see? So I can simulate video of telepresence, IPTV, and IP video surveillance. So does anyone ask you, well, just how many video streams can we get from point A to point B before it falls on its face? How will that quality of service policy actually hold up and apply when we put this much load of video on the network? So I actually can go out and select that video stream and then select the devices and the time period I want the test to run, since it's a stress test, and then I can actually, once again, what we do is all the heavy lifting. You see in the background, I can, once again, here are all the configurations that would be pushed out to those devices. So now, here's the CLI commands that would actually start the test. And once the test is running, then it's simply just running a report to be able to get the result. So reports and IP SLA, and I would run a video operation time series report, and there's my latency, jitter, and loss now being measured of that IP SLA VO video operation test that is now supported in the Cisco switches today. Last is the LAN tab. So let's take a look at VLAN 1. Someone's complained about issues. So see, I can select the VLAN path in VLAN 1, and there it is being drawn out in the network. Remember, amber interfaces are bad. So green, 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 looking good so far. So let's scroll over here and let's look for the backbone in the network. And here it is, and take a look at it. So here we are, green, 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 and uh-oh, look. There it is into an amber interface, VLAN 1. This is a port channel, so look, see these two gig links actually merge together to form the port channel. So this gigabit Ethernet 01 on the upper half, which is input, is amber, which means it's taking errors. So see, we come and take a look, and there's the input drops right now. So just think about what we've just accomplished here. We just troubleshot a global VLAN problem down to the actual interface on a device that's causing the trouble. So that, once again, I think is very easy and very neatly done. Also, if we look at a 6509, what I can also do is something else I've never seen any other tool do. This is the layer 2 QoS of this actual switch, and these interfaces are dropping traffic right now. So someone is setting up the queuing on these switches, and have you ever looked at a problem before with your test equipment and go, well, everything looks good, but we're still having trouble? Are you really looking at everything? And so today, this is what we present, is that we're monitoring things that other test tools simply don't do. So with interfaces with queue drops, as you can see, there's the drop rate for these interfaces. So what if we had a voice or video problem? See, that's priority queues, and let's take a look at it and see there's the drop rate occurring right there. We're dropping voice and video traffic at the queue level, not at the policy level, and I'm detecting that for you right now. So once again, as you can see, the ability within the tool of being able to troubleshoot multiple problems is very, very dynamic. So once again, let's take a look at one last little problem here. Let's go out and take a look at VLAN 10, and let's troubleshoot it. Anybody see any amber interfaces? They all look green, so that looks good. But have you ever seen a tool show the spanning tree configuration of the VLAN? So here we are looking at the root bridge, in blue, the links in green are forwarding, and the links in red are blocking. So once again, this is very unique in a tool set that we alert and alarm to spanning tree changes as well. So, this is the great dynamics of the tool that we have today. Have you guys doing wireless? Well, then here's a wireless example in the network as well, and we can go to Flow, and we can take a look. And what is so unique is that here's my 3850 down here with an iPad connected off zone, and we can actually see those actual flows going through the actual network all the way through. So let's process the flows here at the bottom of the screen. And see, there they are. See the flows going through, and this is wireless back to wired going all the way through the network. So if I click on this 3850 as an example and go to wireless and take a look, those are the wireless flows. See, there's the access point MAC, client MAC ID. So you see, I'm picking this information up, and look, the username using 802.1x backend authentication to the wireless LAN controller. I'm actually picking up the username, which I think is fantastic, and I'm using nbar2 to look at the application here, such as YouTube. And look, from the wireless side, I've also got the basic flow side, see? So I'm actually picking up wireless flows and wired flows, all from the 3850 as well. In addition, in closing, remember our QoS capabilities. At any time, you can click the audit button within LiveAction, and we will generate an audit report. So instantly, I know all the policies that's on every interface, on every device, instantly. And in addition, I know the issues. So we actually, using Cisco best practices, can help you troubleshoot problems with quality of service and identify it on your network with ease. So this is a quick overview of LiveAction today 4.0. What I'd like to close with is where are we going in the next few weeks, in the next couple of months, is that we're also targeted for in the July IWAN 2 and PFR v3, dashboard trending and configuration. So what began as OER in the beginning and PFR now is migrated into PFR v2. We support path chain visualization, alerting, and application traffic moves. Now in the summer of 2014, we're looking in just a few weeks, we'll release PFR v3 monitoring within LiveAction with complete dashboards and trending, drill down troubleshooting, search capability, and PFR configuration as well. But also, we're adding NCCN functions via NetLine Dancer integration. So now we're going to have configuration management capability. So I can go out and do backups of configs, of actually do mass applies of policy changes as well. So we're doing NCCN functions has been added into a product called NetLine Dancer that we're integrating into LiveAction. So all my previous LiveAction customers, you're going to get this tool for free. So once again, in the next couple of weeks, look to upgrade to 4.1 to be able to get this new functionality with the integration of NetLine Dancer.